Roberto, Rob, Beto, Gonzalez.
A man of many names.
A man of many names. Man, the owner of iClothing. I'm finally I'm pumped to finally get you on the podcast, brother.
Me too. Glad to be here. Love sharing my story.
Yeah, dude, it's great to hear. I feel like every time customers come in and they get to talk to you or talk to one of your employees that knows what's going on here, they instantly benefit. They're like, of course I want to support this company. So it's just cool. I want to bring up immediately, if you think about it, when you first started, like I would be throwing illegal outdoor raves in the woods and you would be selling this company out of your trunk of your Audi.
It's when I had like 4 designs too.
Yeah,
so.
Right. They're doing well, dude. Everybody was happy to rep you because everybody always really liked what you stood for. I feel like your personality definitely communicates really well in your clothing, you know, and that's that's why you've done so well. So people are like they want to support you. Of course, they love the designs too. But
yeah, no.
If you want to just start with, so like, if you have a little bit of your background as a person as it relates to iClothing, so let's just say the next few minutes, let's get to know the founder of iClothing. What's iClothing about, and what's Beto about?
Yeah, so started when I was younger. Remember my mom tucking us into bed and just letting us know, planting the seed into our mind, letting us know like, hey, whatever you put into your mind, you can create.
Absolutely.
And at a young age, I always knew I wanted to be like an entrepreneur, but I wanted to be more than just an entrepreneur. I wanted to help people. And growing up, I always was trying to help my mom in any way I could. She'd be washing the dishes, and I'd be like, "Can I help you?
Right.
I want to help you." Or she'd be sweeping, I'll be like, "Can I do that? I want to be able to help you."
Yeah,
so
just natural.
Yeah, naturally, I wanted to help people. And then, as I started getting older, like I was never the type of person to like go out and like hustle stuff. That wasn't in my blood at the beginning.
For sure.
But I did have a vision of wanting to be my own boss and not having to work for the man. But not only that, I wanted to be able to do something so that I can help humanity. And that vision grew bigger as I started getting older, and I was able to continue to teach myself things. So around the time that I got into high school is when I feel like the vision really grew because...
Yeah, because you taught yourself like design and stuff, right?
Yeah, so I remember sitting in, like, this was like my senior year, and sitting in class and creating stuff on the art app that they have, on the computer.
Right, dude, I remember that. You could do so much stuff with that back then, but now you'd be like, this is so, you can't do anything with it.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing. There was so much limits to that, but I didn't allow that to limit myself. I was like, I got to figure out how to create stuff.
Yeah, you're still able to color outside those lines.
Exactly, and the cool thing is, like nowadays, when people are like, oh, I remember when I used to sit next to you in class and this is what you were doing. Now you got 2 stores and you continue to grow.
Yeah.
So it's, very humbling.
The kid with a doodle and a dream.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
So, and that's the thing, like, I started my senior year with like 12 credits. You needed 22 to graduate.
Jeez.
So I was pretty much a sophomore. I hated school. I knew school wasn't for me,
Yeah. I think a lot of us feel that way during school.
And that's the thing, school is just it's there to make you a worker. That's what school's for,
Yeah, some people do really well in school, and some people just feel like it's slowing them down because they're like, I'm not going to use any of this stuff. But I mean, it does really come full circle. Like a lot of stuff you get taught in school, the moment you're like, this sucks, I would rather be creating clothing. But there is some of it where you're like, oh, I'm glad I learned that, right?
Exactly. And my senior year was a big learning curve for me because I was like, dang, like I need to catch up to everyone. Like I'm way behind, so I was just thinking to myself, like, how am I going to do this? So on top of like creating stuff and like wanting to continue to grow that dream, like I had to fulfill another vision.
You got to get it together and make sure you graduate, right?
Exactly. Fulfilling the vision of like, all right, I'm going to walk with my class. I'm not going to disappoint my mom and my brothers.
Of course.
I'm the oldest out of 3.
Yeah, they're looking up to you.
Exactly. So I had to set the picture straight.
So what'd you do? You get all those credits?
Yeah.
Dude,
I graduated.
nice.
Yeah, I graduated.
That's great.
And I walked with my class, and like that right there taught me that, like, you know, whatever you put, you know, again, my mom's voice came into my head, like, whatever you put your mind to, you can create.
Yeah.
And I visioned myself walking with the class, and I just, like, my number one fuel was my mom.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to let her down.
Of course.
I was like, I'm not going to let my mom down. I'm like her first child. Like, you know, this is a big thing for her. And for me to disappoint her would have hurt me more than it would have probably hurt her.
Absolutely.
You know, so
I think a lot of us at a young age, we can get to that point where it's like, oh, maybe I was being a little selfish and not like I was, you know, effing off, not paying attention to my grades. But like it means something to other people besides just ourselves a lot of the time. So that's good that you're recognizing that. So you graduated and you still kept doing it. You still kept Eye Clothing. When did Eye Clothing, like, you printed your first shirt? When is that? When's the jump between graduation and that?
So I got the idea my senior year.
Okay.
Sorry, get back to it. You know, like, we kind of went off of, like, you know.
Oh, no.
The whole vision thing.
No, that's good, dude. That's my job to just bring it right back around, too, because I do the same thing.
Yeah, so, okay, back to senior year. So there was a group of individuals who started their own clothing company. And I remember going to school and, like, everyone rocking their stuff. I'm like, what? I'm like, that's dope. You know, like
I want to do that.
Yeah, exactly. They planted another seed into my mind. They planted a seed into my mind, and I was like, you can literally start something from nothing.
Isn't that such a revelatory thing? You know, it's so great that you took that and you're like, oh, instead of being like a hater, right? Instead of being like, oh, they did that and I wish I could do that, and theirs sucks and mine would be better. You're like, bro, that's wonderful. That's great. I could do that too. You know, you use it.
Yeah. How do I do that? Because
I
want kids
you're easily inspired as well. Yeah.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So as soon as I saw that, you know, that was a possible thing, you know, because coming from Longview, you know, you don't really have inspiration to be more than what this town has for you.
Right. Yeah.
And that's what holds a lot of us back of continuing to grow into who we want to be one day. And then, because with, like, the people around you, and then, you know, your family is a big one too. But
yeah, we're definitely an old-fashioned small town. I mean, we're in between Seattle and Portland, but we're 10 years behind them with a lot of stuff. We're with a lot of
exactly. Well, the dream here is to work at the mill.
Work at the mill, brother.
You get the. You make the most money there, and, you know, you can provide for your family, and that's good enough, you know. But I wasn't looking for good enough.
Right.
So.
That's the thing, is so many, like, we have tons of friends who do that, and they do well, and they have wonderful lives. But they know just as much as we know. No, nothing at all. They know just as much as we know, though, that, like, we could be like, hey, bro, could you picture me doing that? And they're like, absolutely not. They're like, bro, you've always been doodling. You need to keep doodling, whatever you can do. So it works for some people, but there's so many people who, you know, if you're a high schooler right now listening to this and you're just itching because you're just like, man, I don't know. I don't want that life. I don't want the, you know, the mill life, the office life, whatever. You can just keep doodling, man. Keep doodling and keep, like, having perseverance and keep, you know, building into what this is. So
keep creating.
Yeah, exactly.
And keep thinking big, because thinking big is what gets you to that next level.
Yeah,
but obviously taking action's a big part of it too. So
yeah, so you took action. So you got the idea from them. So like they have a clothing company. You're like, shit, I could do this too. And then what?
And then as soon as I started thinking about that, I'm like, all right, I'm gonna go to Google University and look up, how do you start a clothing company?
Hell yeah.
So there was like 5 major things that came up, and the one thing that stuck out to me was, what's going to make you different, and why are people gonna want to support you?
Okay.
And then that one really stuck with me. So when I was thinking of the company, I was like, what is it gonna be called? You know, you gotta have a cool name at least.
Right.
But that's the thing, like, the more I thought of it, the more signs started coming to me and letting me know, like, hey, this is it. So whenever I'd be sitting around watching TV and I was thinking about it, an eye commercial would pop up. And I'd be like, oh, okay. You know, or whenever I'd be talking to my friends about it and I'd hop on my phone, like, cool pictures of eyes would pop up.
What?
And then the word eye.
So did you know, like, at this point, you're like, oh, maybe I'm going to call it Eye Clothing? Like, what's that? Or were you just noticing eyes? Like,
I was just noticing the whole eye thing.
Bro, that's
And then, like, the word eye would pop up everywhere. Yeah. And then I caught on to that, you know, because it's all about catching onto an opportunity when it's here.
Yeah.
And
dude, your sensors were tuned to it.
Exactly. So I was like, okay. I'm like, Eye Clothing Company. was like, okay. I'm like, that's pretty cool. I'm like, but again, that third question of like, what's gonna make you different? That one came up, and I was like, okay, so we got a cool name, kinda, but what's so cool about it? You know, people aren't just gonna want to support iClothing company.
Yeah, just because it's something they know.
Exactly.
They know.
So from there, I'm like, all right. I thought of the company DGK. You know,
Dirty Ghetto Kids.
Yeah, they had an
read
acronym that said Dirty Ghetto Kids, and I was like, I mean, I used to have some of their stuff, but like I never really understood what Dirty Ghetto Kids meant. And in my mind, I was like, these guys have made a lot of money, you know, and impacted a lot of people with this Dirty Ghetto Kids acronym.
Yeah, and you're like, so what's that represent?
Exactly, because I didn't know. So like in my mind, I'm like, all right, well, I'm gonna come up with an acronym that's positive.
Hell yeah.
And I want this to spark people's minds to start thinking differently. You know, and I want to make sure everyone who supports us knows what it is. It's not just a cool T-shirt or a cool graphic that you're wearing.
It has essence.
Exactly. So I was like, all right, I is going to be an acronym. So from there, I'm like, all right, what's the first letter going to be? And immediately the word earn came to my mind.
Right away.
Because the way that I was raised is my parents never gave me anything unless, you know, I earned it. If I wanted something, they'd be like, all right, go mow the lawn, you know.
Of course.
Go wash the dishes, go pull weeds, you know. So earn came to me easily just because that's been my life, you know.
Yeah.
You don't get anything handed to you unless you do something for it.
Right.
And then the why came to me because it had to be about you know, the customer, your journey to excellence and becoming a better version of yourself. So I got earn your, and then I didn't know what the last E was going to be. And then I was reading a book, and the word excellence, like, bolded out.
Just stood out?
Yeah, I was just like, excellence. And then I went to my journal, and I was like, earn your excellence.
Beautiful.
And I was like, whoa.
It was just profound, right? Like, did you sit back, you just saw it, earn your excellence written out there, right?
Yeah, and I was just like, whoa, I'm like, this is it. I'm like, iClothing company, earn your excellence. I'm like, this flows.
Yeah, it does.
I'm like, this flows and this goes.
Flows and it goes.
And then around that time, like I still didn't understand the full meaning of earn your excellence until one day I was down at Washington Square, and I was walking around with some friends, and this dude in a kiosk comes up to me. He's like, hey man, he's like, I got a question for you. I'm like, what's up? He's like, do you know what you want to do with your life? And I'm like, I know exactly what I want to do with my life. He's like, really? And then I just gave him the whole spiel of like, you know, what I'm doing and what my plans are for the future. He's like, wow. He's like, you really do know what you want to do with your life.
Did you know at that point that you knew what you wanted to do? Like,
yeah.
Did you realize what you were going to say until you were saying it?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
It came, well, I've been thinking about like, so this is probably like 6 to 8 months into like, all right, I already have an iClothing company. This is what I want to do with it.
Is this right after high school, or is this during?
Yeah, this is after high school.
Right after high school.
Yeah.
So you're 18.
Yeah, exactly. 18. I'm like, oh yeah, I already know what I want to do. So I gave him the whole spiel, and he's like, wow, okay. And this dude was a recruiter for a college. So that's why he was asking me, do you know what you want to do with your life? Because it was for like dental, and that's the thing, before like I graduated, like that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to become a dentist. So I was kind of like interested in what he had to say. But then right before I had left, he's like, hey, he's like, I want you to read this book. And I'm like, okay. And I hated reading. You know, school kind of teaches you to not like reading.
You throw that whole annotation over it, that negative.
Exactly. You're like, oh, because they're forcing, they're forcing you to read.
Right.
You know, I don't, like, obviously you're not going to enjoy it if you're being forced.
Yeah, and if it's not subjects that you really like.
Yeah, and if you're not into it, you're just going to be like, all right, this is stupid. Like, I never want to touch a book again.
Dude, anybody in this world, hey, would you like to learn about something that you don't care about? They say, no, thank you. And then instead, they're like, every kid, you do that, though. Exactly. I mean, I guess there is some stuff we need to learn. But anyway, so yeah, after high school, what was this book? He gave you this book?
Yeah, the name of the book was The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson.
Slight Edge. I haven't actually heard of that one.
And this book talks about the compound effect.
Okay.
And, you know, earning your excellence is the compound effect.
Okay.
So the compound effect is all about being conscious of what you're doing, because it's little things that we're doing every day that are adding up to the lives we're going to be living one day. You know, so let's just say you go to the gym for a month. You're obviously not going to see any results, but you go to the gym for a year, that's when you'll really see the results. You know, and that's the compound effect. That's because you've been doing it for a certain amount of time over time.
Yeah.
You know, so
that's, I mean, Earn Your Excellence clearly stands for that. I mean,
well, that's the positive side of it. And then the negative side of it is, like, obviously you go to McDonald's every day, like, for a month, you're not going to see much of a difference, but you go keep doing that for like 6 months. Right. You know, you're going to start having like heartburns and, you know, start seeing a little extra weight on you. Yeah, dude. Just little things like that.
So, well, with if you know, you constantly do the exact opposite, like the gym, whatever it is, you get up and you do your excellence, you earn your excellence. 30 days later, you're going to be better off than just sitting around.
Exactly. And then not only what I took from that book too is, like, it talks about, like, there's a section in there where it's like 80% of people don't pick up a book after high school. That's and that wild. Like that sparked my mind, and I was like, whoa, I'm like, I don't want to be that person. And then it also goes on about saying, like, let's just say you read 10 books a day for a whole year. What's your mindset going to be like after that?
Yeah, you'd be a genius, right?
Yeah, pretty much. You're obviously going to be thinking and seeing the world in a different perspective.
I mean, books have a way of profoundly, especially when they're at such a monumental, like it seems like all the things in your life just led up to that moment in some sense, right? So obviously that book is super profound to you, but books, man, like I don't sit down and watch a show on Netflix or watch an episode of Parks and Rec for the 17th time. Yeah. Like, well, that was profound. That just altered the course of my life. But books, man, when you finish a good book, there's so many nowadays that I'm just like, wow, I think differently now. The next 2 days of my life, I'm walking around a little differently. Yeah. And I think that's beautiful. Like the search for like a novel thought, the search for like a new way of thinking. Yeah, books are super important. Anybody who hasn't picked up a book in a couple of years, if you need reminded, man, you got two guys right here that are definitely book advocates. So you read that book and that definitely stood out to you. The compound, just working hard, diligently, continually.
Exactly, and that like started my journey into continuing to grow my mind and growing myself as a person, because after that I started, you know, learning more about different philosophies and the way people are doing things and why people are doing certain things. And that's how, after that, I started to realize, like, I want my designs to have meaning and, you know, tell a story. Right. Because this is what's making us who we are. You know, we are who we are because our designs speak for themselves. You know, it's like you don't go to any other store and you get a story behind what you're buying. You know, you're just going into the store because you think the company's cool and everyone's wearing this stuff. Right. You know, we want to be the company that tells a story or teaches you something. Right. And that's the thing. We're not trying to tell people what to think or how to think. I'm just trying to plant seeds into their minds, just how in the past people have planted seeds into my mind so that I can continue to grow into who I want to be one day. Yeah. You know, and it starts now because it's the ripple effect. My main target is like the youth. The youth has a big problem of not being conscious of actually being here. Yeah. They're just roaming around the world. Yeah, we're just roaming. Well, it's not even just the youth, it's everyone, you know. Yeah. But I feel like the youth has
super guilty of it myself, man.
Yeah, same. You know,
it's up to us to like slow down now and be like, dang, yeah.
What's actually going on here? You know, because one day, you know, you'll be 40 years old and you'll be like, what have I been doing?
Yeah. What did I just care about?
Exactly.
What have I cared about for 40 years? You know, exactly. You want to be able to, like, when Beto, when you're 40, like, you're gonna be able to say, like, man, I'm glad that I followed that seed that was planted by mom. You know, like I'm glad that I cared about the correct things. I feel like you know, I don't see you for every few months. We'll run into each other or meet up, and it's every time you're always like working on something else, planting new seeds. So it's good, dude. You're always keeping this momentum. I feel like when you're 40, the things you're gonna say that you cared about are gonna be important.
Well, it's the thing. Like I look at myself when I'm 40 now. And that's how you prevent getting to 40 and being like, what have I been doing? Yeah. Because you got to think about your 40-year-old self now. Yeah. It starts now, because if you're not thinking about him,
yeah, you're not
when you meet him, you meet him, you're going to be like, damn, who is this guy? Yeah. You don't want to be that guy.
Yeah, you don't just want to be a bum who hasn't done anything. You just keep talking about doing stuff. Like, well, I did watch every single episode on Netflix. I did do that throughout my life.
Exactly. I feel like another stepping stone to like getting to where I am today too was like, I love all my friends, but I realized hanging out with a lot of my friends, like I was just wasting time. And that's when I knew I was different, you know, because we'd be sitting there like playing video games, watching TV, and then I'd just be like, I'm literally wasting time here.
Right.
Like, my mind was just going and going, and I'm like, I need to go do something. I'm like, I'm not being creative. I'm like, I'm just slacking. I'm like, this is not part of my journey.
Right. And you sense that, you know it. And that's the thing, is a lot of us, I think, kind of sit there and still play video games because we're like, no, this is fine. But if you've got something that's screaming at you from within, you gotta be leashing at it. But so a crazy thing about that with friends is, you know, of course there is friends that just, they're gonna fall by the wayside. They're not gonna understand. They're gonna be like, bro, like, you don't hit me up, like, you're not a good friend, whatever. But for the most part, for me anyway, as I've, you know, in my different areas that I've jumped out and been like, I'm going to be creative, or like, I'm going to fall off the grid for a couple months, or I'm going to not be able to play video games or have a beer because I'm doing these things. Man, my friends, like, if you just tell them the honest truth, they believe in you so much that they're like, of course, I wouldn't expect anything less. You're so nervous of like breaking free from your friends all the time because you think they're going to hate your guts. But if you just talk to them, they're like, bro, of course, how can I help you create your dream? And that's another beautiful thing. Yeah, man. And I feel like as you get older, it's like once you just have those face-to-face conversations with a lot of your, you know, your true homies, they're like, bro, like, why didn't you say this sooner? Let's fuck this video game. Let's throw it off the bridge. Let's get your company going. So,
yeah, exactly.
I feel like you've had quite a few friends around you that.
No, I've noticed a lot of them like that. So super thankful for all you who are listening. Much love.
Yeah, bro.
You my boys and girls.
Boys and girls. Yeah, man. So right now, just kind of channeling it back, we're sitting in your Longview location. How long has this location been open?
We're coming up on a year now.
That's crazy.
The 24th, I believe, will be the 1 year of being here.
Of being here in Longview? I thought it was longer than that.
No, we opened up our Vancouver location first.
Oh, you did? Okay.
So we're on year number 2 for Vancouver.
And you just upgraded your Vancouver store too. That's a bigger location.
Yeah, we just got into a bigger spot downstairs in the mall. We're still in the same mall, but we just got a bigger spot. It's 3 times the size, and we're right in the middle of the mall, so there's way more foot traffic. And it'll allow us to get our message in front of that much more people, especially holiday season's right around the corner, and the malls get popping. So
yeah, exactly. I mean, and it's cool, like more people in your guys' store, because that's always the thing that I notice. Like I've done a couple like gigs with you guys, and just standing in the corner, being in the back room, like hearing you guys talk to your customers, it's always great, because it's like the more people that you can get, you or Andre or whoever out in front, like telling them the story of iClothing, telling them like, hey, here's what we represent. We're not trying to be like a typical clothing company.
No,
we're trying to just outwardly represent what's good, you know. And once you get you guys in front of people, the more people you get in front of, it spreads the message of and it's great. I feel like it's
a ripple effect, because that's the thing. Like, people see how passionate we are about what we're doing, that they get inspired, and then they want to go share that with everyone.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's the best part when people come into our store and they're like, because first thing we ask all our, first how it starts is people come in and we're like, how are you doing? And they're like, oh, I'm good. You know, that's the typical, I'm good. You know,
yeah, because they think you're going to try to sell them something.
Yeah, or they're like, oh, I'm just looking. And then they're like, some of them are like, how are you? And we're like, it's a great day to be alive.
Absolutely.
And that's the icebreaker. People are like, whoa, I never hear that. I was expecting, oh, I'm good too, you know?
I'm not afraid to be outwardly happy.
Exactly.
Like, welcome to iClothing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And some people are like, better than the alternative. It's like, damn right. I'm like, and that's the thing. We're like, we like living. Yeah. You know, we don't know what death is like, but I like living, and we're going to make the most of what we're doing while we're alive.
You can catch on to people too. Like, sometimes people come into a clothing store with a certain mindset of whatever. Like me, for example, I'm kind of naturally a more introverted person. I actually like to go into stores with headphones on and stuff. But if I do notice that the employee is going to go out of their way to like talk to me, they're like, or I'll take my headphones out and talk to them. And sometimes by them just being outwardly exuberant, it'll pull me out of my introvert. Like, oh, let's just keep my headphones in. So that's good.
It's all about that connection. You know, you want to make a connection right away, and that's something we really focus on, because like I said earlier, it's like we're not trying to sell you anything. We're just trying to share our messages and our story with you.
Yeah.
And hopefully it hits a certain part of you that when you leave, you're like, wow, like that's crazy. Like these two dudes, you know, are in their 20s and they already got stores and they have such a powerful message. Like this is beautiful.
They started out doodling in high school and selling out of their trunk at outdoor raves to kids.
Literally.
Man, those are pretty wild times.
That's the thing.
So
let's go back to starting out of the trunk of my car, because I didn't really go to that. You know, we didn't really talk about that.
People got to know. Okay, so let's go before. So we're sitting in the store now. Everything's going great. There's a great online iClothing. Check them out. All that stuff. But let's track back a little bit farther. I mean, so what I would do as a DJ and like an event planner in the area, I would get together with a couple other people.
Yep, I remember those days.
Yeah, some shows outside. We do big sound systems,
so
visuals.
Fun.
A few hundred people. We had like upwards of 500 people sometimes, but it'd be very renegade style, like directions the day of. But like even you were like, all right, there's gonna be a lot of people here. This is the crowd that I need. So you would roll up with your shirts in the trunk and sell at the store. So let's talk about that.
So the way that it started was when I came out with my first design. I was super excited. I was like, dope. You know, I got these shirts. I got to get rid of them now. Mm-hmm. You know, a good amount of people knew me in high school. So I thought, like, since I knew a lot of people, I was going to get a lot of support right away.
Right.
But that wasn't the case. It took me about 6 months to get rid of those 24 T-shirts.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So, like.
You're, like, thinking you're going to be a millionaire.
Yeah. I was like, oh, dude, I'm going to slang these real quick. And then
you gave away 7.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do, especially at the beginning, you know, get the name going. So what I did was started messaging hundreds of people, like on Facebook Messenger. Mm-hmm. I'd be like, hey, I just started a clothing company. This is like the first design. Let me know if you're interested, you know, and then you'd obviously get people that would just read it and ignore you, or you'd get the people to say like, oh, I'm good. But then you'd get the ones that would be like, dude, that's so cool. Like, I want one. Give me this size. So I'd be like, okay, meet me in the Walmart parking lot.
So you're just drug dealing your shirts.
Literally. So I would go meet with this person in the parking lot. I'd be like, hey, I got your shirt, blah, blah, blah. They'd give me the money. I'd take I'd give them the shirt.
Right.
And they'd be like, all right, cool, sell done.
Tap it up.
There was this one time, though, I'll never forget this moment, but we were at the Safeway parking lot right by, like, the gas station. Mm-hmm. And I did this deal with this person, and this older guy was like, hey, I saw that. And I was like, what? I'm like, I'm selling shirts. And then he walks over. He's like, what exactly are you selling? And I pop open my trunk. I'm like, shirts.
I got mediums. I got smalls. I got extra large.
He's like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Right.
I'm like, yeah. I'm like, this is all legal. I'm like, I'm not selling drugs or anything. He's like, oh, no. He's like, I wasn't thinking that. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, why'd you call it out then?
Then why'd you say that?
Yeah,
you know, so whatever. He backtracked on it.
So the jump from selling out of your trunk to like how long did you sell shirts out of your trunk for iClothing Co?
Like I said, probably like a year.
Yeah.
I mean, and then I obviously started a website as well as soon as I started the thing, and I taught myself all of that too. You know, I just go to YouTube and be like, oh, how do you do this?
Right.
You know, so that's the thing about nowadays. You know, we have the internet, we have YouTube, we have Google, and all these great things are great teachers and mentors. You know, that's the thing. Mentors is the best way you can learn, because you learn from their mistakes, and that's why I read books. That's why I listen to podcasts.
Absolutely.
That's why I look up people on YouTube and listen to what they have to say. You know, because even if they're not there physically, they're still teaching you something and putting something into your mind so that you can start thinking in a different way, so that you can solve a problem that you're stuck on.
Exactly.
You know, that's why we listen to those things.
Yeah, always learning, man. Like whatever you do, even if you're hustling, like if you're in the moment right now and you're at that time where you're selling shirts out of your trunk, but it's like, I know that this has 10-year, 20-year vision. Like I have something real here.
Exactly.
I mean, this, dude. Also, what you should be doing is work on your business, but also improving your mindset. Working on reading books
at all
listening
times.
To those audiobooks, those podcasts. Like there's so many out there. So anything you want to know, you can just Google it, man.
Yeah, no doubt. Because that's the thing. If you're not learning and growing, you're dying.
Never stop.
There's no in between.
Absolutely.
You know, and then yeah, never stop growing. We actually have a very symbolic design that I came up with about. This was like 2 years into the company, and we call it the Forever Green Tree.
Yeah, can you explain that?
Yeah, so the top of the tree, the top of the design's a tree, and then the bottom of it is a raindrop.
Yeah. Oh, is that the logo? That's the logo that I have on here
Yep,
too.
that's the one you got right now.
I forgot I was wearing this one, right?
Yeah, represent.
Always.
But yeah, I call that the Forever Green Tree. So the tree represents your mind, and the raindrop represents your thoughts. So as long as you continue to feed your mind good thoughts, you'll be forever green, just like the trees. And then on the back of any of the T-shirts, it's got the never stop growing down the spine, because it's a symbol of everlasting growth. The raindrop will constantly feed the tree so that it can grow forever. But same thing goes with your mind. You continue to put the right things into your mind, you'll continue to grow into the person you see yourself becoming one day.
Absolutely.
So, like I said, try to be more than just ink on clothes.
Yeah,
So-
dude, and you definitely are here. It's so cool, man. It's cool. I'm really glad that you know, we've been friends for a long time, so it's cool to
Yeah.
just watch you grow in that aspect. But it's just cool to see what
Thanks,
you're doing
you
for
too,
the
man.
community. Yeah, dude, it's cool to like link back up in different ways. It's very exciting to think, you know, what's in 10 years, what you know, we're having this podcast, whatever, like what's that going to be in 10 years? Like,
No
we
doubt.
did go
I'm
from
excited.
illegal DJing out in the woods, and you're selling shirts out of your trunk, and at least I have like 2 decent microphones, and you know, we've upgraded. So what's the plan for eye clothing? I mean, like where do you see yourself? What do you want to take forward into the future with eye? You know, not necessarily like business model, but like what do you want to continue pushing for eye clothing?
So like the vision that I have for I is, you know, I want to have 1,000 stores one day.
Yeah,
And
absolutely.
I want it to be worldwide. So that's a thing. With each location, I want people to come into our store, because I want our items to be a collectible item. You know, so with each location, we'll have different stories. We'll have different messages based off of the region that we're in and the culture that we're in. You know, let's just say we opened up a store in Hawaii. Like, obviously in that store, we won't have like the All Good in the Hood and Rain is Near stuff that represent the Northwest. We would have designs based off of the culture of where we're at.
Oh, right.
You know, that way
Yeah.
when you travel, you're like, dude, I know there's an eye clothing here.
Yeah.
Like, I want to go see what they have there.
There's a place here that represents what the beauty in this place is all about, right?
Exactly.
Like you're almost mining for the realness of places and sprouting a story about it. Or
Exactly. And that's the vision behind what we want to do. And then obviously we want to get into more media stuff. We want to do like the iMedia part of, you know, the company.
Of course.
And with that, like the vision behind that, it's like I want to interview people and, you know, interview businesses around the area, interview people who like go on adventures.
Are you saying that you want to start your own podcast?
Yeah, eventually.
Ooh, you guys heard it here. There's gonna be an eye clothing podcast.
Yeah.
Stay on the lookout for it. Now people are gonna be excited. They're gonna bug the shit out of you about it.
But yeah, so like I want to be able to interview people like restaurants and stuff. So
Absolutely.
I'll make like a 5-minute video that says top 5 places to eat in Hawaii or whatever part of Hawaii, you know, we're at, or
Yeah,
Arizona, or like let's just say top 5 places in Phoenix to eat, top 5 places in Phoenix to. I know we just changed the
course.
state,
We're changing
but
all
I knew
day.
Phoenix, and I knew no more. I guess I just know more about
Yeah.
the cities in Phoenix,
Dude,
Arizona.
that's super
So-
important though. You're finding the community within. You know, we live in a world of connection where we're always trying to connect. In the internet, we can connect, but now we can connect, but also mine the communities and connect the communities. Because a lot of times, just knowing about each other instead of like really experiencing the community, the reasons, the deep down the water.
Yeah.
that gives it birth, you know, the seeds
Yeah.
of each place. So that's cool that your journey is to pull that out of different places around the world.
Yeah, because
That's
it's
so
about
cool.
uniting together. That's what
Yeah.
we're about.
Yeah.
And even in our stores, we carry other local brands in our stores. You know,
Yeah,
we
you guys
call
always
it
talk
the
about that.
Eyes on You section. It's a way of giving recognition to people who are out there doing their thing too. You know, and then I like to say this is, you know, it's like we're not trying to be better than anyone around us. We're just trying to be the better version of ourselves.
Yeah.
So that we can continue to grow with our community. Because what's the whole point of bringing someone down and saying like, oh, I'm better than, or even having the mindset of I'm better than you.
Yeah, or I'm trying to win.
I've always hated that. Like even in high school, like there was those kids who thought they were better than you, and those were the kids that I wanted to be like, oh yeah, you think you're better than me? Wait till you see who I become one day.
Right.
And they were my fuel when I in the starting ages of I.
Exactly.
You know, like oh, I really dislike you guys. You know, but they're the ones that fueled me to become who I am today. Yeah,
bro, you just gotta ignore them, and just like that's the thing. If you know, when you're a kid and the world is telling you like that you're not doing what. You're not doing it right.
You're not on my level.
Yeah,
you know?
Like it's like, man, I'm not failing just 'cause I'm not doing what you're doing. You've got to really know in your heart, like, man, this thing that I'm working on, it feels like something real. Like, and you got to keep just mining that and just keep whatever you guys think. That's cool. We'll see you in 10 years, buddy. See you later. Like, don't even pay him mind. Just ignore him. We'll see you in 10 years.
Do you dream big?
Yeah,
you know?
Exactly.
And another thing about failing, you know, that's all part of the journey. You have to fail to continue to grow, because how are you going to learn? You know, and how you grow is by learning.
Well, and you've had plenty of failures and probably plenty of times where, like, I mean, even in the beginning, I feel like it'd probably be like, oh, well, we just poured all our money into these shirts. You just said you went 6 months without selling 24 shirts. So
yeah, luckily I had no overhead. And I had actually I didn't have a job then, but luckily I had no overhead. But now, you know, that.
But as you get older, man, the bigger the biscuit, the more stores. Like, you got employees, you've got things that are counting on you. You know, and you're. And so, but you've built the detergent for that. You've built, like, you're tough now. You know.
Yeah.
You've done the time.
Well, that's the thing. Another one of our designs that has meaning is the diamond. So the reason I chose to go with, and it's part of our banner logo, which is like the main logo that I started with.
Right.
It took me like 4 times to find the main logo. So I started with like this weird pirate face looking thing, and then I started with like a lowercase I with an eyeball. And then I made a diamond of some sort, and then I upgraded the diamond to the diamond we have today. But yeah, so the reason I went with the diamond is because for a diamond to become a diamond, it starts off as coal, and it goes under a lot of heat and pressure to become the diamond. Yeah. We as human beings are that coal, you know.
Absolutely.
We don't start being tough, you know. We go under a lot of pressure, stress, problems. But for us to become the diamond, we have to overlook those things and overcome them to become the diamond.
Yeah,
but
and we have to have faith in being the diamond. And
exactly.
The diamond is after the coal.
Yep, and not only that, it's like it takes a lot of hard work to get to a diamond. It takes a lot of hard work to get to your goals and dreams. And then the reason I put the eye in the center of the diamond is because you have to have a vision. If you don't have a vision, you'll be lost. You'll hop from one thing to another, and then 10 years down the road, you're looking back like, dang, thought that degree was going to help me out, or dang, I thought that job was going to secure me. Now, you know, you're restarting and you don't know what to do because you didn't set yourself up for the hard times that were going to come.
Yeah.
There's always going to be hard times, regardless what path you choose to take. So prepare for that and, you know, see it before it happens, but accept it.
Yeah, visualize it, know that it's actually can come true. It can actually be real. And you don't really know, like, you can never prep yourself to be like, oh, as soon as all these problems come up, I'm going to know exactly how to handle them, because you never know how to handle problems, man. It comes up and you're like, well, this sucks. This is why it's a problem, because I don't know how to handle it, right?
Exactly.
So the most you can do is just keep your head down and be like, just have faith in the outcome, and like know that I'm still going to keep chugging away at this thing. I know that this is just a bump in the road. This isn't the end. Like, let's think about when I'm 40. Let's think about in 10 years. You got to keep, you know, be in the present and really, you know, enjoy what you're doing, but also find a way to keep your head down and keep chugging forward. Yeah, man, it's been really good. We're gonna have to have a lot more of these podcasts. I feel like you haven't been up to the studio in a while, so you got to come check that out too. We'll get Andre on here as well.
Yeah, we got to get Andre's mind up in here.
Yeah, I mean,
that
and
guy
then
thinks
also,
on a different level.
Yeah,
you know, he's helped me becoming who I am today too.
Yeah, so that guy's super smart. He knows.
Shout out to that guy.
Maybe we can get him on here too. Eh?
Oh, definitely.
Maybe just one-on-one.
Do the one-on-one. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
be able to pick his mind.
Yeah, he's a smart guy, and dude, and we're all, you know, we're all still learning books, and we're also reading books. We're all still learning, adapting. I want this podcast, as well as I'm sure you want yours to be as well, right?
Oh, definitely.
Just beneficial. So it's like, oh, I just watched this podcast, and now there's a couple more books that I know I can read. So what was that book one more time?
The Slide Edge by Jeff Olson.
The Slide Edge, yeah, and that was the one that it kind of set you off. It seemed like
the one that woke me up.
Woke you up, dude.
Yeah, literally.
Beautiful. Well, Beto, man, I'm really hyped. I got to sit down and we got to talk a little bit about like the birth of I. There's always way more to talk about, but we'll get more into that once you get your podcast going, because now I'm going to be pushy about that with you to get your podcast going. Is there anything else that you want to like round out, you know, like say to the world, any more like one little message or anything like that?
Yeah, I think the best thing that you can do is just do you and not really care what other people think of you, but also realize that your journey is going to be tough, and the sooner you find out or realize that your journey is going to be tough, it'll help you get through the bumps, because every day's a battle.
Yeah,
you know, not every day is easy. You know, I have 2 stores now, and like, it's never been harder in my life. You know, I stress every day, and, you know, it's like I'm just like any other person. You know, I'm not a superhuman, or I'm no one that special. Yeah. I just knew what I wanted and I pursued it. So if you know what you want and deep down it's telling you like, hey, you need to do this, then go do it, regardless what anyone else thinks. You know, I like one thing that I heard from Gary, like your 20s is your years of trial and error. So go try shit out. Try it out. Go see what you can do and fail as many times as you can. Yeah. But don't bring yourself down because you're failing. Yeah. That's something that I've had to overcome recently, you know, like, so don't bring yourself down. Yeah. And continue to feed your mind good things and continue to grow, because that's how you get yourself out of your funk. Dude, so I mean, and that's thing. That if you just keep persevering through it. I mean, and when you do it, the wonderful thing is when you do it, you give permission to other people to do it. Just like all these things I gave permission, like in the beginning for you in high school, it's like these kids had a clothing company. You're like, oh shoot, we can do that. Travis Pastrana, like someone does a backflip, and all of a sudden 2 weeks later, everybody else is doing the backflip. On exactly. The you know, you give people permission, and Beto, by you outwardly living yourself, you pushing I Clothing like to your heart's content, like it's great. You're really inspiring a ton of people, man. Like whether you know it how much or not, like you really are inspiring a ton of people from our community. Now you're reaching out to other communities. I'm super pumped to see where it goes in the next 10, 20, 50 years, whatever, bro. Thanks, Jake. Yeah. I really appreciate you, you know, bringing me on this and being able to spread my messages throughout your community. So absolutely, man. There'll be plenty more. So we'll get it. Yeah, bro. We'll call it on that, and we'll be back with Roberto Gonzalez sometime in the near future. Sweet. Much love, everyone. Hey guys, it's Jake. Hope you enjoyed that podcast. I'll be coming out with a few more of these in the coming months, and hopefully as it picks up momentum, there will be more releases, more broad chapters. I have a few different ideas that I'm working on that'll be enrolled in the coming months. I just wanted to start posting these before they're fully polished, before they're fully perfected. I know sometimes there's maybe like a mic nudge, or the logos aren't fit perfectly, or you know, I don't have an elegant intro yet. These are all things that I want to eventually get, but I do have a perfection issue at times, so I just really wanted to get these out. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed the podcast, and I just wanted to say that I really appreciate you guys' support, and you'll be expecting more. If you enjoyed these, please maybe just share it with somebody, or write in the comments if you have any way that I can improve, or if you have any questions that you think maybe I can answer. I'd love to talk about that. So just drop it in the comments there. Otherwise, if you're using an app, YouTube, Spotify, whatever, that auto plays to the next thing, just be conscious of your day today. If you don't have all day to be spending on your phone or listening to stuff and watching stuff, you know, maybe it's better that you get outside today. So just be conscious of that. Be healthy. Peace out. We'll see you next podcast.